Dynamics 365 Sales versus HubSpot, a detailed CRM comparison for 2025. So, Dynamics 365 Integration Services. It's something a lot of people ask about, and today we're going to walk through it step by step. Next up, let's talk about what is Dynamics 365 Sales and how does it differ from HubSpot. Dynamics 365 Sales is Microsoft's cloud-based CRM built on the Power Platform. It handles leads, opportunities, accounts, contacts, and forecasting. What sets it apart from HubSpot is not feature parity at the surface level but what sits underneath: native connectors to Azure, Teams, Outlook, SharePoint, and the broader Dynamics 365 suite. HubSpot, by contrast, started as an inbound marketing tool and bolted CRM features on later. That history shows. HubSpot CRM is genuinely easy to use, and its free tier is good enough to run a 10-person sales team without spending $1. But when mid-market companies need deeper ERP connections, advanced workflow automation across finance and operations, or the ability to run custom business logic without workarounds, HubSpot starts to show its limits. Both platforms cover the fundamentals well. Next up, now, Dynamics 365 Integration Services, the ecosystem advantage. The strongest practical argument for Dynamics 365 over HubSpot is integration depth. Dynamics 365 integration services cover not just the sales module but the entire business operations layer: Dynamics 365 Finance, Supply Chain Management, Business Central, Customer Service, and Field Service. For a detailed look at how these integrations are architected, see our guide on Dynamics 365 Integration Services, connecting D365 to your entire tech stack. Out of the box, Dynamics 365 Sales connects to HubSpot offers Teams and Outlook integrations, but they are shallower. Meeting recording transcripts do not auto-summarize into deal records the way D365 does natively through Microsoft Copilot for Sales. Let's talk about how much does CRM implementation cost. D365 versus HubSpot. CRM implementation cost is where most comparisons get vague. Here are specific numbers for 2025. Microsoft licenses Dynamics 365 Sales per user per month. These are 2025 list prices. Volume discounts apply under Microsoft Enterprise agreements. For a full breakdown of what each plan includes, the Microsoft Dynamics 365 licensing guide covers every module and add-on in detail. Now, let's talk about Dynamics 365 customization versus HubSpot configuration. Dynamics 365 customization is one of the platform's defining strengths and its biggest complexity driver. Getting this right is the difference between a CRM that fits your business and one that fights it. D365 customization happens at 3 distinct levels. The Pro-Code path is where Dynamics 365 customization gets genuinely powerful. You can build custom business processes, integrate with proprietary internal systems, override default platform behaviors, and create industry-specific workflows that no off-the-shelf CRM would support. For a deeper look at when to configure versus when to customize, see Dynamics 365 Customization versus Configuration, a practical decision guide. Now, moving on to which businesses should choose Dynamics 365? The honest answer is that Dynamics 365 is not the right choice for every company. Here is how to think through it based on your actual situation. Dynamics 365 for small business use cases typically center on Dynamics 365 Business Central rather than the full sales enterprise stack. D365 Business Central is designed for SMBs with 10 to 300 users, covering financials, sales, purchasing, inventory, and project management in one platform. If your business needs both CRM and ERP functionality without managing 2 separate vendors, Business Central deserves serious consideration. For a full evaluation of Business Central partner selection, see Dynamics 365 Business Central Partner, 8 things to look for before you sign. Mid-market companies already running Microsoft 365 get the most immediate ROI from Dynamics 365 Sales because the integration work for Outlook, Teams, and SharePoint is nearly zero. Next up, now, how to choose a Dynamics 365 implementation partner. Poor implementation can take a solid platform and produce an expensive failure. This is where the decision becomes truly consequential. When evaluating a Dynamics 365 implementation partner, check for Q Services is a Microsoft certified solutions partner for Dynamics 365 with 500 plus projects delivered since 2014. For a detailed evaluation framework, see Dynamics 365 Implementation Partner, 10-point checklist to evaluate and choose. Next up, Dynamics 365 versus Salesforce, where HubSpot fits. The comparison in this article is D365 versus HubSpot, but you cannot have that conversation without acknowledging Salesforce. Dynamics 365 versus Salesforce is the more common enterprise decision, and HubSpot typically enters when a company wants to avoid both platforms' complexity and cost. HubSpot positions itself as the easier alternative, and it earns that reputation for SMBs. But when a company scales past 200 sales reps, starts running territory management, or needs deep CPQ functionality, HubSpot's gaps become painful. Our full analysis at Dynamics 365 versus Salesforce, which CRM wins for Microsoft-first businesses, covers the details, but the short version is, if your organization is Microsoft-first, Dynamics 365 wins on integration value. If you are Salesforce-first, switching costs are real and HubSpot is a reasonable middle ground for sales teams that do not need deep ERP connectivity. If your company is currently on HubSpot or Salesforce and evaluating a switch, Dynamics 365 migration services include data mapping and cleansing, custom field migration, historical data preservation, integration reconfiguration, and user adoption support. Migration projects typically add 20 to 40% to base implementation cost. The longer you wait, the more historical data accumulates and the more expensive a clean migration becomes. Next up, let's talk about what modules does Dynamics 365 have. Dynamics 365 is not a single product. It is a suite of applications built on a shared data platform called Microsoft Dataverse. Understanding the module structure is essential for accurate budgeting and scoping before any implementation begins. This distinction trips up many buyers. Business Central is the SMB product, covering businesses with 10 to 300 users who need integrated ERP and CRM in one place. It runs in the cloud and starts around $70 per user per month for the Essentials license. D365 Finance and Operations targets enterprises with complex financial consolidation, multi-entity structures, and global operations. Pricing starts around $180 per user per month and implementation costs are substantially higher. Choosing the wrong tier is a common and expensive mistake. Your Dynamics 365 Business Central partner should be asking detailed questions about transaction volume, entity count, and multi-currency requirements before recommending either product. Next up, now, conclusion. Choosing between Dynamics 365 Sales and HubSpot is ultimately a bet on your IT strategy, not just your sales process. HubSpot wins on simplicity and time to value for companies that need a standalone CRM with minimal technical overhead. Dynamics 365 wins when you need Dynamics 365 integration services that span sales, finance, operations, and customer service on a unified data platform, and when your team is already invested in the Microsoft ecosystem. The critical variables are your existing Microsoft footprint, your 3-year growth plan, and your tolerance for implementation complexity. If you are already running Microsoft 365 and Azure, the integration value of Dynamics 365 justifies the higher upfront CRM implementation cost. If you need a standalone sales tool with fast time to value, HubSpot may genuinely be the better fit for where you are right now. For companies leaning toward Dynamics 365, the next step is scoping a proper implementation with a certified partner who can map your specific business processes to the right D365 modules. Get that scoping conversation right, and the platform will serve your business well for a decade.